A look at the signs that are honoring the Triple Crown winners, and American Pharoah, the last to do it, ending one of the longest droughts in thoroughbred racing history. Belmont Park has a phenomenal history, and one of the big reasons we love to come out on site is to meet you, the TVG viewer, and also people that we get to cover on a daily basis. And it is a true pleasure to finally meet in person Maylan Studart. Maylan, so nice to be with you.
It's such a pleasure to meet you, Todd. Like, I'm so honored to be here, too. Thank you.
Well, now, Matt and I were both used to covering you on TVG, and a couple of times you made us look bad because we didn't pick your horse, and you'd come up with some upset winners. You reminded me of a couple of stories. You've been watching TVG for a while, haven't you?
For a long time, because you guys actually, when you handicap the races, you're being honest with everyone. Like when here at Naira, you know, they like to pick the trainers and the jockeys, but you guys looked at my horse, and I'm like, thank you for looking at my horse because I have a big shot to win this race. I'm glad you picked that up. So,
Maylan, for those who are not familiar with your background, where are you originally from?
I'm from Brazil.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how did you come to the United States, and how did you become a jockey here?
Right, so when I was in Brazil, I used to do show jumping before, and when I turned 16, I went to the apprentice jockey school in Brazil. I really wanted to become a jockey, and I didn't get many opportunities there because I was the only female on the racetrack in Rio de Janeiro. So I met a friend, John Da Silva, he used to write for the New York Post,
Right.
and very good guy. We met online, and I ended up transferring my tack here to Florida, where in Calder I won 10 races, and when I moved here in the winter at Aqueduct as an apprentice, my career really took off, and I decided to stay in New York.
Well, as we're all aware, there are so many dangers to being a jockey, and injuries took its toll and brought your career essentially to an end. Talk about some of the effects that you've been dealing with since being out of the saddle.
Yeah, it's been really hard. When I stopped riding in 2014, I had a major concussion in 2013, and there was something wrong with me, which I didn't know, because back then concussions, you didn't really know what they were. You know, I was feeling very lightheaded, balance problems and pain. I was out for 6 months. I returned to racing, I won, and then a horse broke down with me on the training track, and I re-injured my brain, which exponentially hurt my my recuperation. So that's when I had to stop riding. I stopped riding in 2014, and it was extremely difficult to not be a jockey anymore. And then I started going to college for the first time into communications. So that transition, college really helped, but the concussion symptoms, you know, sensitivity to light, sensitivity to sound, balance problems, memory. I had short-term memory loss. That's what really scared me and my doctors, and they said, you know, we don't think it's good for you to return racing because if you re-injure your brain while it's recovering, it's going to be much worse, and we don't know if you're going to recover because it's a very new
Well, and a chance
injury.
to see Ramon Dominguez down in South Florida. His career was cut short. Everyone agrees. Hall of Fame rider, essentially, who could have won thousands of more races. So it's an inherent risk that happens. But along the way, you obviously gained some great knowledge riding on the circuit. So I want to have you help us out with the Belmont Stakes. First of all, riding at Belmont Park, how much of it is an advantage to be a local rider and truly understand this racetrack?
Because of the size of this track, 1.5 miles, it's a major advantage. I have to say, it's a major advantage because you know the angles you're going to. You know how long that stretch is, because when you're on the horse and you're looking down that stretch on the backside, the 1 turn mile, it never ends.
Yeah.
You just look down and it's a horizon, and you have to be so patient and so calm. And when you approach the 1/2 mile pole, you got a long way to go. That's just entering the turn. You have a long way to go. You can't move there. So, you know, I remember Mind That Bird in the Belmont. Can you believe that Calvin Borel did the same mistake that I did as an apprentice when I started riding in Belmont? He moved a little bit too early. He moved between the 1/2 and the 3/8. And I think had he made that move at the after the 3/8, just before the quarter pole, I think he might have. I don't know if he could have won, but he definitely would have positioned
Well,
much
a
better.
good example, Kent DeSormo with Real Quiet. Maybe it cost him a Triple Crown with the early move he made back in 1998. Taking it all into account, what you know about the Belmont Stakes, my final question to you, who do you like on Saturday?
I have settled on my picks. Not in this order exactly, but I like Exaggerator, I like Lonnie, and Sudden Breaking News, I think deserves to be watched very closely. And Lonnie, he's been improving a lot. He's got the mental problems to overcome, but he's the best. He's a horse that can get the mile and a half. He's the horse that can get 2 miles.
Yeah.
For his training, and I like Stradivari for state. I think he's going to be close up, and I think he's going to stay there. I don't think he's going to fall too far behind. But Exaggerator is going to have a lot to do if he's going to run like he did in the Derby. But if he runs like he did in the Preakness, a little closer, he's got a good chance to win.
I have to share with our audience, when Maylan walked up on the set, she goes, "You guys don't have a teleprompter for the show?" I'm like, "No, we just do 5 hours of talking about the races." You're the first guest I've had on who had no notes. This was all off the top of your head. And the best part about you, you are as charming in person as you were engaging on the racetrack. We wish you the best, and I hope you come and visit us again at TVG
so much,
real soon.
Todd. Me too. A pleasure being here in TVG. Thank you.
Maylan Studart, join us here as part of our Belmont Week coverage.